BTS News Today. In a K-pop world full of lights, cameras, and roaring cheers, there is another side of the stars that is often hidden, a fragile, human side, and full of emotions that are not captured by the camera lens. This time, the attention of the entire army is focused on Jungkook, the golden magne of BTS. Young was reportedly stricken with deep grief after an emotional incident involving Jimin. What's really going on? Why is Jungkook so devastated? And what impact does it have on their relationship? Let's explore it in more depth. An event that changed everything. The story begins with a brief moment, but full of meaning. What happened behind the scenes was a closed-door meeting between BTS members. Jungkook, who has been known as a cheerful and energetic figure, suddenly he looked gloomy and moved away from the crowd after talking one-on-one with Jimin. A close source said that there was an emotional conversation that drained the feelings of both parties. And most surprisingly, Jungkook admitted to doing something he regretted, something directly related to Jimin. In a recent confession delivered through a written message to nearby staff, Jungkook said, "I didn't mean to hurt him, but I feel like I've overstepped my bounds, and now I don't know how to fix it." These words were enough to shake the hearts of anyone who heard them, especially ARMY, who always witnessed the closeness between these two friends. Not long after that incident, news broke that Jungkook was crying alone in his rehearsal room. Built-in CCTV camera, which is only used for security purposes, captured a picture of Jungkook sitting in the corner of the room, covering his face with his hands. The staff gave space and did not dare to approach. Someone who witnessed the incident said, "We've never seen him like that before. He looks absolutely devastated." Why is Jungkook so devastated? According to further searches, sources suggest that he may have said something too harsh to Jimin in a state of stress. Even if it doesn't mean to hurt, the effect was just the opposite, leaving a deep emotional wound on her best friend. Jimin himself has not yet given an official statement regarding the incident, but signs of tension are beginning to show. A few days after the incident, Jimin was not seen at the group's rehearsal. When appearing in front of the camera for an official agenda, his smile remained but empty. Many soldiers noticed that the expression of his eyes changed, as if hiding an unspoken grief. The most striking is the interaction between Jimin and Jungkook, which is usually full of jokes. Now it becomes awkward. In a behind-the-scenes video released recently, the two seem to be keeping their distance. Jungkook appears to be approaching, but Jimin only gave a small nod, then left first. The moment was heartbreaking for many fans who were already used to seeing their closeness and warmth. It didn't take long for the ARMY to realize that something was wrong. Hashtags such as hashtag Jungkook we love you and hashtag be strong Jimin immediately topped trending topics on various social media platforms. Fans show support with messages of encouragement, lovingly edited images, and theories about what really happened. However, behind all that, there are also concerns. Is this just an ordinary quarrel? Or do they have deeper wounds? Many are afraid if their relationship really cracks, especially since the conscription period separated them physically, makes communication more limited than usual. Another source close to the agency said that Jungkook was trying to apologize to Jimin in earnest. He kept writing letters. He even rehearsed a song that he said he wanted to sing personally for Jimin. "But I don't know if Jimin is willing to meet him," said the insider. If this is true, then it became clear that Jungkook regretted his actions and was looking for a way to fix things. This is not the first time that two friends have come into conflict, but Jungkook's remorse this time was so strong that it affected his health. He reportedly slept poorly and appeared to have lost his appetite. Managers also have to pay extra attention so that the condition does not deteriorate. For ARMY, Jimin and Jungkook aren't just two BTS members. They are a symbol of sincere friendship, togetherness, and grief, and the power that grows from honest closeness. Many hope that this is just a small test on their long journey. We believe, if they are sincere, they can definitely solve it, write a fan in an online forum. Some of the ARMY even put together a compilation video of Jungkook's moments from previous years as a form of prayer and hope that the two would return to the way they were. Jimin's Promise or Jungkook's Still With You are his favorites, as if representing longing and love that never goes out. This incident, however painful, be a reminder that behind the glitter of the stage and status as a global superstar, BTS members are still human. They can be angry, disappointed, and sorry. Jungkook, in his grief, showing that he has a tender and caring heart, while Jimin, in his silence, teach the importance of giving space and time to emotional recovery. Now, all eyes are on how this story will end. Will the two meet and forgive each other? Will they laugh together again on stage, remove all the existing suffering? For sure. ARMY will always be there, not just as a fan, but as a faithful family supports them in joy and sorrow. The next day after the incident, the atmosphere at the training base changed dramatically. There was no laughter as usual. The staff chose to work in silence, well aware that the atmosphere among the members, especially between Jungkook and Jimin, it's not as usual. Jungkook arrives ahead of schedule, seen busying themselves in the rehearsal room with repetitive choreographic movements. It's like forgetting everything about the dance. But the movements are not as usual, not as sharp or as strong as usual. Something is missing, the spirit. Meanwhile, Jimin did not appear until noon. When the end came, he went straight to the vocal room and didn't say a word to anyone. Even Taeyong, who was known to be very close to her, he could only look at his best friend's back without knowing what to say. Everyone knows that there are wounds that have not healed. And the wounds are not ordinary wounds, but wounds left by the most trusted people. Among them, few knew in detail what Jungkook had told Jimin. Purportedly, the words came out spontaneously when emotions were high. Probably due to work pressure, maybe because of fatigue, or maybe because of personal things that they have been hiding. But whatever the reason, Jungkook himself can't forgive himself for hurting someone he loves so much, in the deepest sense of friendship. Some in the ARMY began to speculate that this incident was related to the tremendous pressure Jungkook had been feeling lately. During the break in the group's activities, the members underwent many changes both personally and professionally. Jungkook serving his military service under the spotlight, reportedly experiencing considerable mental stress. She tries to stay strong in front of others, but behind the scenes, it's a burden he carries alone. And sometimes, it builds up until it explodes. It happened accidentally to the person closest to him, Jimin. Jimin himself is not a figure who easily voices his heart wounds. He's the type who keeps pain in silence, hiding it behind a perfectly visible smile. But people who knew him well knew, when Jimin was silent, that was when it was most dangerous. That's when the wound was really deep. So it's no wonder that after the incident, Jimin chose to stay away. Not because of hate, but because he was trying to keep his heart from getting worse. Time went on, and the members began to realize that this conflict could not be allowed. They, who have always appeared compact, know that the rift between Jimin and Jungkook will affect everything, not just their personal relationship, but also the emotional balance in the team. Taeyong, who had been the natural mediator between the two, took a slow step. He started talking to Jim. Make room for your best friend to express his or her feelings. As for Jungkook, he just said, don't be too hard on yourself. But don't run from your guilt. Jungkook knows that. He didn't run. Instead, he tried to make amends in the way he was best at music. In his small space at night, Jungkook began writing songs. The lyrics are full of apologies, longing, and memories of the friendship he wanted to repair. The song is not for publication, not for commercial release, but for one person only, Jimin. He wants to sing it live, someday, if Jimin is willing to hear it. But day after day passed, and Jimin kept his distance. He is present in group activities, performs his professional duties, but he didn't open his heart completely. Jungkook kept waiting.